Oh yeah, shit, man. I'm 30.
Old man.
You know what? I don't feel any different. But you have a lot of reflections, don't you? Sit
Right,
there and you're
let's get
like,
into this one. I was
yo,
genuinely surprised you were 30. When
what?
I saw the balloons, and your mom showed me the balloons, and I was like, oh man, I thought you were like 28 or 29. I really didn't think there was just 1 year between us. I don't know why. I just thought you were a lot younger. Uh, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then it made me think about, yeah, when I was approaching 30 and the whole thing about, we have this thing, I think men specifically, about where we should be at 30. Did you have any sort of,
Exactly.
right?
You're
Tell me about that.
you're you're 31, isn't it?
I'm 31, correct?
Yeah, exactly. There is this whole like shit, what should I be doing by the time I'm 30? Like,
Mm.
what does this mean for me?
Yeah.
Why am
What
I
does it
not
mean? That's the question.
here? And it's just like,
What's
ooh,
here? Yeah. What was here?
and you start
What was that for
feeling a little
you?
bit like weird, isn't it?
So when you're like early 20, mid 20s, what was when I am 30, I expect myself to be at,
I had no expectation of what I was gonna be
that is good.
because
That is good.
I was 25, I was still in banking, right? So I was just sleepwalking through every day.
Mm.
That's it. I didn't have an expectation of what I wanted to be. And
Right.
I think this is one of the things that sort of scared Sanj when we first got together and we were dating. She
Mm.
kind of thought like this is a lost child. He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know where he's going. Because essentially
Okay.
I'd started as if I was 20 again at 26.
This
And
is marketing, man.
this is post traveling. I'm just like fucking around in marketing, doing like part-time jobs.
Yeah.
And I was literally starting as if I was going back 6 years, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was just taking it day by day and trying to see where it was going. And then when 30 came
Mm.
about like a few days ago, I was like,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
where am I now? And then I was like, here's where I am now. Okay, I've
Which,
moved cities,
which
new
is,
job. I've
yeah,
moved cities, new job, recently married. Cool. I'm like, that's a lot compared to
of
what I could have asked
change.
for
Yeah.
when I was 26. That's a lot of
Mm.
change that I wouldn't have thought would have been possible in
In
that small
four
period of
years.
time in 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, maybe the first part of my 20s was sort of just doing the status quo. And the second part was doing a bit more of what I wanted to do. And I feel like my
Mm.
30s is just going to be focusing on myself,
Home.
my relationships with those close to me, and my wife, not in that order, but those are the three most important things to me.
Sanj, what Freud says is that nothing a man says is ever by mistake. So clearly is in that order. So if he's putting you last, I mean, you really may want to have a discussion about his
Love it.
priorities, right?
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Uh, I love it, man. Okay, so 30 to 40, because yeah, the feeling I had when I hit 30 was like when you're 20, you think you're invincible. But the problem is you don't know enough at 20. This is what I reflect on now. And so 20 to 30, even I thought that would be my most kind of like dangerous period, where I'm going to just like take over the world or whatever. I realized when I got to 30, I was like, okay, 30 to 40, man. This is my
People say
I'm
that it's
I'm
the
good
best
now.
10 years because you've got more disposable income, you know a lot more, and you're just before
Yes.
having kids or something. So
Yeah.
it's it's when you sort of have the best 10 of your life. And then obviously you've got your friendships pretty much set in
Mm,
stone. You've got the
mm,
people around you essentially set. So it's quite
mm.
liberating. Everything's quite stable.
That's a really good word. Yeah, exactly. At the moment, I feel very measured in life. Like, and the thing, when you said about the traveling and the trying and stuff, so Stephen Bartlett, he's the guy on
Yeah.
Dragons and the New Dragon. He talks about this concept about to work out what we want from life, which is essentially what you were doing, and you had the realization. And a lot of people don't get that. They're kind of, sleepwalking through for 50, 60 years, but you had it. You woke up, I want to do something else. I don't know what that is. So what did you start doing? You started experimenting. And he talks about only by increasing our experimentation rate do we then get some answers. Because then you reflect, right? Something happens, you get feedback from that situation. You like it, you don't like it. Something good happens, something bad happens. Whatever happens, feedback. And that feedback then means you can start doing something. I didn't realize it's been 4 years, man. I still remember you at Deutsche, you and Sunny, and yeah, like that doesn't seem like it's 4 years ago to me.
That was five
Because
years ago. No, that was
wow,
nearly 6 years ago now. That was
wow,
2016. That was
wow,
nearly 6 years ago.
wow.
But I quit Deutsche in 2017. I think Sonny quit like the year after or something like that. No, he quit towards the end of the year because he moved countries, didn't he? So
Mm,
yeah, he did things a little bit later than I did, but he was it was just a whole change, wasn't it, that everybody was going through.
mm,
And yeah, 30, it's like I'm not upset by it or anything. I'm not unhappy. I'm just
Yeah,
sitting here
yeah.
thinking like, okay, what do I want from the next 10? Because I didn't know what I wanted from the first 10. So it was in the first 10 years
Interesting.
of 20. I didn't
Yeah.
know what I wanted in my next 10 years of 30. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now what do I want? And you start writing things down. And I'm like, I used to be really bad at this. I used to write down goals at the start of the
Right.
year and then I'd
Right.
never revisit them. And I'd shit
Okay.
myself when I'd look at them again. And I'd feel really bad
I haven't done this.
about writing them, or like I haven't done anything or I haven't done anything towards it because I
Mm.
used to set the goal so big that I could never attain it. So, for example, I wrote in one of my goals a few years ago to be an expert in videography. And I was like, that's very broad. And what is an expert at videography? And where does that want to go? And how do I learn all this? And I just wrote that
Mm.
down. And then I wrote
Mm.
down like the how and like sub goals, but even the
Mm.
sub goals were too big. So I was like, all right, this isn't cool. And then it came to like March, I was reading it. I was like, I don't want to read this anymore. I feel bad. I feel like I've wasted a quarter of the year. So let's bin this and
Mm.
not do it. And now this year, I'm like, all right, I'll write some stuff down and then I'm just going to keep them very small because if I attain a small goal, I can then add another
Mm.
goal on top and then you can start forming better habits. And I thought, this sounds like the biggest load of bullshit ever. It sounds so stupid, but genuinely, that's how my mind works. Other people are different. They can just do wild things out of the box immediately and they're fine with it. But I'm a creature of habit.
Mm. So I do a little bit of both. So there is an expression which I like, and it's, good is the enemy of great. And that's the whole concept of, if you do set too small a goal and you achieve it, then will it push you? So that's one side. So what I do is I do kind of what you do, and then I have what I call my stretch goals, my unrealistic, stupid goals, really out there.
Mm,
So I have the stuff I kind of work on. And you're right. And we all know this because we've been through some sort of management, smart goals. It's all about making them specific. So you will go and hit them and execute. And, a goal without the steps, the tangible steps, is just a dream. Nothing happens with it. And
yeah.
then, yes, then I have my kind of stretch goals. What I found, this is how in 2022 started very differently to my normal kind of thing, is normally when I start in January, it's like, pedal to the metal, and I will just do loads and loads of different things,
Well, in
meetings.
January, straight away.
Yeah, yeah. First 45 days. I had to think about first 45 days a year for the last 3 years. 3 years? 4 years. It's kind of, it's kind of based on the concept of when a US president is sworn in, not obviously US president, they have this thing,
Inauguration, the first 90 days.
first 100 days, they have this thing
Oh,
about what
100
they're
days.
gonna, yeah, they have this like their what do they call it? They lay out a portfolio essentially, and they say, this is what I'm going to achieve, this is what I promise, right?
They make a pledge, basically.
That's it. And then they have to, deliver on those things. And so I had this thing about 45 days. I don't know where it started from. I was like, 45 days, I'm just going to just go ham. And then it sets me up for the rest of the year. And then this year came, and off the back of a very busy year last year, and I was like, I'm going to simplify even more. And I was like, there's a couple of big things that I need to do. And if I do them this year, life is good.
Mm.
And that's it. And that's really what it is. So like for MedX, me and Parent have a very, very clear goal. This is the two things we need to get off the ground done. With coaching, with Dino, obviously we've had on the podcast, it's like, okay, we need to do this and this. We're working on that big thing with Ali Abdal. That's going to be releasing soon. Want to get in touch with a few more YouTubers. That's going to be a goal this year. With Jim, it's 100 kg bench press. We're working towards that. So, and I was like, I want to go to the cinema more often. I've started this year with a film every week, every Tuesday.
Bloody hell, you're going to watch some shit films.
No, they're pretty good. I watched Kingsman.
Yeah, so
Matrix,
far. Talk to me in July when film
Spider-Man.
season's not in.
No. I'm not saying I want to do it every week. I'm just saying I want to watch more films. As in, I'll watch films when there are films I want to watch. I'm not going to go just to watch.
You made it sound
there.
like I'm going every week.
No. I mean, again, I'm in a good position where, Star City is 10 minutes from my work.
Mm.
Right. So we go on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. So we went yesterday to watch a film called 355. It's from the producers of Bourne. It's essentially 5 female agents from different spy agencies. It's pretty good. It's really good, man, actually. And yeah, so I go straight after work. So I can get there. We can get there for like a 4:30 show. You want to yawn? It's yawn, man. We're doing that weird thing.
I don't want to yawn. It's mean. I'd rather make the The nasal
We're like,
flare.
with
Right.
all the air comes out your nostrils. So, guys, if you can't see, Indy's trying to suppress his yawn because I'm clearly boring him on the podcast.
You're not boring me. I'm tired,
Um,
man. All
it's
right.
okay. So yeah, we always catch this like early show, which is great. We go on a Tuesday, Wednesday, so we get Meerkat 2 for 1. So 2 cinema tickets, £5, man. And they have
Hang
this
on, 2 for
great
5, or is it 2 for 10?
no 2 for 5. So Star City standard ticket is £5 anyway, so you get buy one get one
Oh,
free.
there you go. So buy one, get one free.
The buy one
Nice.
get one free. So yeah, that's been the start of my year, and it's like actually I want to relax more. I actually want to do more of what I did in 2020 when we had the forced mandatory lockdown, like when gyms are closed and everything.
Okay.
And I was all the businesses on hold. I was like, actually, I want to do less this year. I want to focus on some big things, execute on those, but just have more time to do the social stuff. So
I think it's
social
more around
calendar,
like balance, isn't it? It's more around having a decent balance and doing things in moderation to an extent where you feel like it's helping you, not hindering you. So
yeah,
I'm not
and
going to go out my
enjoying the
way.
process.
Yeah, I'm not going to go out my way and eat bad food for like a month because that doesn't really work in my benefit, IBS and all. But I don't think it's going to be useful if I do that. So I'm like, okay, sack that off. What's actually going to help me in this year? All right, let's start setting some mini goals. Like, let's do meditation for 10 minutes a day. Okay,
Well,
fuck 10 minutes, too much. Let's do 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes.
For you. You got your special candle thing, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm like, just 5 minutes, done. I can make a commitment. I'll put a reminder on my phone each day at this time. Bam, let's go. And then I'll do that for a month. Cool, I achieved that. 10 minutes, 15, 20, etc. Slowly, it will start ramping up. Right. And then you can start doing it more and more. And you can embed that into your day to day. But if you start doing 4 or 5 things brand new at once, you're fucking your system up, man. You got to do little things at once.
Yes. Here's the analogy. It's when you have any habit you want to instill, because that's the question I get asked most as a coach. How do I instill good habits? People know what they need to do, but they won't do it. The reason why they don't do it is because, remember, simple and easy are 2 different things. People think they're synonymous, i.e., they mean the same thing. For example, as a doctor, Indy, I can say to you, Indy, you should do 30 minutes of exercise each day and eat 5 fruit and veg. Very, very simple for me to tell you. I've just told you. Not easy to do each day. So simple does not equal easy. Okay. People think it's the same thing. Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing is then what is simple can be effective. People overcomplicate shit that really doesn't need to be complicated. So for example, like I said there, if you go for a walk every day for half an hour, right, and eat like a balanced diet or whatever it might be, your health generally will be fine.
That's exercise done.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like that is simple, but it's very, very effective. Now, the other thing, like you said, is you slowly increase your appetite once you get used to something, because then the habit is formed, and so it's reduce the barrier to entry. This is the number one piece of advice I give to people. Again, another example. Oh, I want to go to the gym. I haven't got motivation to go to the gym. So what I tell people is, right, what you need to be doing is you need to be leaving work. You need to find a gym on the way home from work. This is an example, right? Because then you're going to get it in, you're going to go home. If you go home, then you're going to try and go to the gym, you're not going to have the motivation. Reduce the barrier to forming a new habit.
Yeah.
I want to eat an apple a day. Forget it. Eat 1 apple a week. Get used to it. Increase it, like you said. So, yeah. And this is interesting now. I was in the gym a few weeks ago, and obviously, Jamie, and we're just looking at it. He's like, yeah, all these people are going to be here for January, and then they're going to disappear.
Bro, I went to the gym. I fucking hated it because I go in the evening sometimes. And you can walk in and it's on the app. It's the gym. Yeah, it tells you the capacity of how many people are in there.
The gym.
Yeah. So I went into it. I went into the app. I'm about to scan in. It was over 100 people. And I'm like, I've been here for 4 months. I've never seen it go past 50. Right? 100 people. Man. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, it's shit because you're running around. You're doing an exercise. You've got one eye on the next piece of equipment. And you may even cut your own exercise short just to get that piece of equipment. And it's so it's annoying. I'd rather these like just fuck off. Right.
But they will at the end of January. Like you basically what you've got now is you've got the 5-day a week because the guys are going, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ham, I'm gonna gym every day, every hour, and then they just lose motivation and stop.
Yeah.
It's because
and sometimes you can't
motivation is an espresso. It will wear off. What if you want to maintain something, you need discipline, not motivation. The 2 different things. Again, people make those things synonymous. They're not the same thing. these are the type of things when you get to 30 years old, you reflect on and you look at, and you, one piece of advice I'm giving a lot of other people, I'm doing a lot more this year and actively writing these things down, is I'm being a more active observer.
Yeah.
So things I see, behaviors in other people and in myself, I'm writing down a lot more. That's very,
What kind
very
of
important
behaviors?
thing.
What, like toxic traits?
No. Just I'm talking about negative, not specifically negative things, but even good things, like how people can be great at some things, or small habits, micro habits, that I can observe somebody doing and be like, okay, that's why that's effective. Or even my own behaviors, like, okay, why did today I feel really good? Okay, because today was like this. So why was it? What was it about today that actually meant that I could be in a flow state for longer? So
Yeah.
things like that. But being able to observe your own behavior, very, very important.
Yeah, man. Observing the things you do good and the things you do bad are very important,
Mhm.
because I can sit here and just list off all the things I'm really bad at, but I'm really bad at listing things I'm good at. So it's hard to sit there and just be objective about yourself without being your own biggest critic or being overly harsh on yourself.
Yeah, it is for you. You're just generally a ducky
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
That's
For me, I'm sure
that's
there's
what it
other people
is.
out there that feel the same way.
Just you, and yeah.
It's just me. It's just an indie problem, yeah.
The indie syndrome.
But yeah, man, when you're 30, people
Mm,
think that you should have like,
mm.
house, everything, kids on the way, all that stuff.
Like life figured out.
It's not that straightforward, man. You're always figuring out life because you have life changes.
Yeah.
After you have a kid, your life changes. When the kid starts growing up and goes through different phases of their life, whether it's toddler years, child years, teen years, adult years, your life is changing. Nothing's ever constant, man. You got to keep on moving and changing with it.
That's the beauty of life, isn't it? And that's the whole point. Things have value because it's not fixed. We need, and we always talk about this. You need spontaneity in life. Without spontaneity, if everything is consistent, if I gave you a book which laid out every single thing that's going to happen in your life from now until you're dead, that's boring, man. Like he's doing again. He's yawning. Stop bloody yawning, right? Spontaneity is the spark of life. Now, the other thing you said there was interesting. Remember, change is inevitable. Okay,
Yeah,
change is
casually.
inevitable, but growth is a choice.
Why is
Right?
growth a choice?
Because some people, they will just moan about change. They'll just stay there and be like, actually, okay, it's changing. But the seasons change, the day changes, the sun goes up, the sun goes down, your hair goes gray, you get older. This is happening with or without you, man. Like you don't have to worry about, oh, you can't stop change. That's not where you put the focus and time and energy. You focus on the growth and the opportunity that comes with the change. And you
Yeah.
enjoy the experience. You enjoy the experience. And you're absolutely right. And I remember Jim Rohn, he said this really cool thing, man, because again, coming back to this whole notion of men specifically feel like they should have everything worked out by 30. He was like, if you had it all worked out till 30, what is the point of the rest of your life?
Relax, in it. Do nothing. Be an FX trader.
No.
Cryptocurrency, man. Let's go to the moon. Come on.
Yeah.
Jump on board.
And then
Home
blow
trading.
your blow your brains out, man. These things are not sustainable in life. We are, I think Joe Rogan said it. Guys, if you listen to this, just YouTube this thing. I think it's called Joe Rogan's. Just type in Joe Rogan motivation, and it comes up. And he basically says, he goes, "We are not designed for comfort." It's one of the best things. Actually, no, I'd say yes. One of the best things I listened to last year. This 10-minute clip. He's yawning again. My
I'm not
God, man.
yawning again. I'm sitting there
My
and I took a
God,
deep
man.
that one I genuinely took a deep
Stop
breath.
it.
However,
Stop
on
it.
Rogan, on Rogan,
Mm.
if you type that into YouTube, there's a lot of different compilations, so you might have to be more specific.
Yeah, maybe I will post it. Maybe I'll do that. But he talks about we're not designed for comfort. And he uses this analogy like he said the epitome of life is not to sit there and have somebody holding grapes and putting them
Yeah,
in your
holding
mouth.
grapes and feeding it in your mouth. Because within about an hour, you'll be like, "Get the fuck away from me." Yeah,
That's exactly that's pretty
yeah,
good, man.
yeah.
You've seen it. You've seen it. He basically
No,
says
no.
that, isn't
I
it?
listened to the full episode. He said it in. I think it was him and your favorite guy, Jordan Peterson. That's what I think it was.
Probably. Okay.
I think it was from that episode. But yeah, he just says like you're meant to. There's a lot of change you
Struggle.
have to go through and struggle. You have to
Struggle
do a
is
daily struggle,
good
otherwise you're
because
gonna
you
be
learn.
life is gonna be just too easy.
Yeah, and we don't function. This is the problem. We like too much chaos. You burn out. You go crazy. You need lots of little micro chaos because it sharpens the mind and gets you to do those things that you need to do and flow. Without that, without mental stimulation, we go crazy as well.